Hey guys, how's it going? So, one of the biggest things about writing is that it's a process. A lot of times we look at this beautifully finished final draft of anything, but we forget to remember that writing indeed takes a series of steps, a series of drafts, and believe it or not, oftentimes that beautiful final draft that you just finished reading may have just begun with a clumsy brainstorm. So it's precisely because writing is a process that we model exactly this through our class, and that's the reason why with our two major writing projects, which will be our two major essays that we're going to do for this class, we're going to have a peer review workshop. And if you look at the syllabus here, that's what we have planned for this week. Hooray. And I'm going to go over the logistics of that. Just a little thing here. You'll notice that the rough draft will be due this Tuesday by 11:59 p.m. So yeah, that's going to be. I'm going to ask you to at least write two full pages in your rough draft, just so that you can have something substantial for your classmates to look at. Another thing too is that after this deadline of Tuesday 11:59 p.m., the link is going to close, so you will not be able to submit any more drafts in beyond this beyond this time. So do be cognizant of that. And yeah, so the Canvas system is going to automatically assign three drafts for you to look at, just randomly. And for you to get points, you need to both submit a draft and leave feedback for all three of the classmates that Canvas will assign you. Now, this is immensely important. Pay attention. You will not receive drafts to look at unless you submit a draft yourself. So remember that. That's how the Canvas system is set up. So you will not receive any drafts unless you submit one yourself. So do be cognizant of that. So let's go over the nuts and bolts of this, how it's going to work. Let's go ahead and publish this so that we can see it how you see it. Okay. So we are three. First peer review workshop. Click it here. So this is going to be the link where you're going to submit your rough draft. Just go here, just submit assignment. As usual, like we've been doing, doc, docx, and PDF. So submit your rough draft here. This Tuesday, the 23rd of June by 11:59 p.m. And okay, so 1 minute after this, which will be Wednesday, June 24, 12 a.m., that's when the Canvas system will automatically assign you your three drafts to look at. Now, in terms of the actual workshop itself, so here are some guiding questions for things to bear in mind with this paper as you're looking at one another's drafts. Number one, highlight the thesis in your classmate's draft. Okay, so this is a textual analysis. So in the thesis, which is the central project's central claim, does the thesis make it clear just what their chosen or cultural artifact is? Like, or are you reading something like that's just very vague about cultural artifacts, but they never make it clear which one they're going to look at? Like, if it's a music video, cool. If it's a movie, cool. If it's a manga, issue, cool. Make it clear, like whatever it's going to be. If it's a video game, cool. Make it clear. And then, or if it's a picture book, yes, go Dr. Seuss. If you liked the Sneetches, like if you liked your thesis, then absolutely you can do your paper on it. So your thesis needs to both make it clear what the cultural artifact is, and then make a claim about some connotative aspect of that cultural artifact. So if it's a picture book, then maybe that's the overall deeper message. And here's the big thing, okay? If you want to say something like Dr. Seuss's "Oh, the Places You'll Go" presents an overall message of the importance of resilience and pushing and explores the the many stages that we go through in life. And then, okay, so you say the what, right? First is the what, and then the how. The thesis should say the how. So when I say the how is, how does the cultural artifact reflect this? So you could say something like, after saying that, you could say like, this is reflected through both the vibrant illustrations and allegorical characters that represent different types of people that you'll meet in life, or something like that. So in the thesis, say your what, which is your claim. And remember, connotation is indirect suggestion, connections to real life, social cultural overtones, implications, which is the so what. So after you make the statement of the what, then talk about the how. So how does your cultural artifact reflect that? Say that in your thesis, because you want to set up that strong central project. Okay. Is a cultural artifact sufficiently narrow? Okay, so rather than choosing all of Naruto or all of Yu-Gi-Oh or all of the Twilight Zone, choose one episode. Okay, choose one episode. That's what we mean by narrow your focus. Or, choosing everything from Blizzard. No, choose one game. Okay, that's what we mean. And then, obviously, does their thesis make it clear what they're saying about an aspect of their cultural artifact? So that aspect can be anything from a deeper message or connections to real life, or maybe even, a depiction of a historical event, and maybe it's depicting it in a celebratory life, or maybe a darker light, like whatever is the case. But you need to say something about the cultural artifact, and like I said, ground your thesis on connotation. Don't ground it on denotation. Don't be like, in the movie The Lion King, there is a king named Mufasa who is murdered by his brother Scar, and then Simba takes over. Like, if you're telling me plot points, that's not really a connotation. So don't make your thesis on denotation. Like, if you're going to use plot points, then use them to bolster your thesis. Okay, that's always the idea. Which goes to this: does the thesis offer reasons to support the claim throughout the paper? Right? Actually, sorry, the thesis itself. Yeah, so when we say reasons to support the claim, meaning the how, right? So how does a cultural artifact reflect what you've just unearthed about it, whether if it's a deeper level message or a connection to real life, so on and so forth. So say the how it reflects it as well, okay? All right. Yeah, that's what we've been talking about. Is it grounded upon connotation or only denotation? You don't just want to say, this episode is about, in this episode, this, and a third happens, but you're not getting at any deeper level meaning, like a deeper theme or message or implications. So what? Like, are the body paragraphs moving to flesh out and support the project set forth in their thesis? So again, it's called body paragraphs for a reason, right? If the thesis is the skeleton, it's the main points that you're going to hit throughout your paper. It's your central project. Then the reason the rest of the paragraphs are called body paragraphs is because they're adding corpulence. They're fleshing out your skeleton, right? So it's up to you how you organize your topic sentences throughout your paragraphs, but they should all in some way, shape, or form bolster and support your thesis, yeah? So, maybe one paragraph is going to be about, I don't know, like, let's stick to the Dr. Seuss example of or you know what, we just did the Sneetches. Let's stick with the Sneetches. If let's say your thesis is about how Dr. Seuss is promoting a message of tolerance and takes an anti-racist stance. Okay, that's your claim. and then you make your claim also about how this is reflected through the attitude of superiority that the Sneetches with stars have, so on and so forth. So, maybe some of your paragraphs can first reflect how the plot points, align with this deeper level meaning. Then maybe another one could look at how colors and illustrations work together. The other one could be about connections to real life, right? And answering the so what question. So it's up to you how you organize them. So if the thesis is the central project of the whole paper, like the nucleus, then each subsequent paragraph, each body paragraph, the topic sentence is the nucleus of the paragraph, and then the supporting sentences within it are they're there to flesh out the topic sentence. So be intentional, and I recommend outlining on a sheet of paper what your topic sentences will be, what you're going to do. And now that you're drafting, you can take a look at what your classmates are doing, and if maybe you're feeling a little stuck, you get some ideas, or if you've already had an awesome start, then you can further solidify those cool things that you're doing already, and maybe glean some other ideas too. This makes me laugh. Or are they just summarizing without rhyme or reason? Yeah, you want to avoid that. You want to bring in plot points only to support your thesis, right? There has to be a reason behind the madness. Does your classmates' draft have more analysis than summary? Okay, so for this paper, there's a big temptation to just have summary, and less analysis. Remember, with analysis, you're unearthing from denotation to connotation. So you're moving from surface level meaning to deeper level meaning, and you get to deeper level meaning by considering these things, right? Indirect suggestion, social cultural overtones, connections to real life, implications, which is the so what, So that's the main task, is a textual analysis. And if you're a little stuck, you can revisit the PowerPoint that we looked at from last class. You can look at that lesson too to help you out if you're feeling a little bit stuck. Like I said, hopefully the Sneetches one helps a lot. I've had a lot of students in the past do their whole paper on the Sneetches. That's a good one. You could do other picture books too. The Dr. Seuss is so deep. We often don't give him credit for how profound his books actually are. Yeah, so this is about the same one. If you're seeing more summary than analysis, then where would you recommend that they make changes to have more analysis, and maybe help them out with certain questions that they can consider to reach a deeper level of analysis, more than just summary. Because we don't want it to just be like IMDb, telling us, okay, here's all the plot points of the movie. No, it's not that. It's grounded on connotation, right? How's the conclusion looking? Think of the conclusion's job as moving to reaffirm the central thesis, explicitly answering the so what question. The conclusion is the final takeaway that the reader's left with, right? So after reading your paper, reaffirm the central project, your central claim, and how the old cultural artifact reflects this, and then obviously again the so what. Here's why it matters. Here's why it's important. Remember, it's the last takeaway that your reader leaves with. It's a big one. Is there a works cited page? Obviously, there has to be, since there's a cultural artifact that they're working with. They need to cite it, right? So you always need to give credit where credit is due. So if there's no works cited page, you can remind them. Okay. So we talked about the questions. We talked about you have to upload by Tuesday by 9 p.m. You won't get a draft unless you do. Canvas is going to automatically give you 3 drafts to look at 1 minute after. So June 24th, 12 a.m. Oh, here's another one. You're going to have to give your feedback by Sunday by 9 p.m. to your 3 classmates. I won't give you credit past that date. So write that in your calendar and remain cognizant of that. Let's get to the actual logistics of how it's going to work and how it's going to look. Let's leave student view. So check this out. you're gonna when you're ready, you're gonna say here peer reviews and click peer reviews. So it looks like so far, I mean, I'm doing this. It's about to be midnight Monday. So it looks like 2 people have submitted it already. But when you get your 3, you're going to see them here once you click peer reviews. And let's get into the logistics of the actual format of it. So from your end, you're not going to be able to see SpeedGrader, but you're all going to see what you're assigned here with peer reviews. But let's just talk about it. So let's pretend that I was assigned this one. I was assigned to work with Edwards, right? Hey, Edward, peace to you. So let's see if I got Edwards. So yes, absolutely. You want to mark up the reading. So first of all, I haven't read this draft or anything, but I just want to show you how this works. This one here is to enlarge it completely. So maximize the screen there. This one is just to have a cursor. This one was if you want to have comment bubbles, like if you want to put it here. Whoa, that is so cool. You could be like you can have like little comments like this is a compelling title, so on and so forth. This one is if you want to highlight. This is the highlighter. So if you want to say, like I said, I haven't read this, but I'm just showing you how this works here. Let's say I want to highlight this. Here's the colors, by the way. Excuse me. If you want to do like pink, if you want to make a message, this is such an important point. So on and so forth. Okay, so that's highlighting. T is text box. If you want to have a text box, I don't know. Maybe you want a text box here. You could be like this is an clear section or something. I don't know. You want to say something. This one here is if you want to cross out. So let's say you wanted to cross out. This one here, right? Bum, bum, bum. You could be like this. I don't know. This is an extraneous sentence. It is not. I don't know. It's an extraneous sentence. Consider blah blah blah. I don't know. So that was just a cross out. This paintbrush thing is the pencil. So you could be like, I don't know. Like you can draw on it if you want. It could be like an arrow. It could be like yes or something. This one, I actually don't remember what this does. I don't remember what that does. Oh, okay. Obviously, okay, it's to draw a box. So if you want to draw a box, I don't know why you would. I guess like if you want to maybe demarcate something, if there's like an important statement or something that you want to demarcate, let's just put it there, like, yeah. So if you want the square, boom, you can leave it a message, like, yes, or something, I don't know. So that's it. That's it for the toolbox that we have here. So lastly, after you mark up the draft itself, because by the way, everything you mark up is going to have your name here, so yeah. So you'll get credit. Then you want to leave them a comment, because look, if you guys have ever done a peer review workshop, you don't just say here, handing them the paper back. Here, it was good, and then just walk away. No, you sit down with them and you have a conversation about your the things you saw. Hey, check this out. I know this is an important section, and consider some of the questions when you're the workshop questions. Those are guiding questions. You don't have to compulsorily answer each and every one of these here, but they're guiding questions for things to consider as you're looking at this. But okay, so yeah, in real life, just like we leave our we have a direct conversation with the person whose papers we're looking at about our comments, about things we saw. So the way to do it here, you could do multiple things. Number one, let's pretend, like I said, if I got Edwards, I could be like, hey Edward, I really, enjoyed what you have so far. There was a part that blah blah blah. I don't know. you could do that. You could type it out after you just submit it. Or here's what I would do, honestly, because I'm a fan of media. I'm a fan of media comments. Okay, this is if you want to like attach a file or something. Oh, this is wow, man! I did not know you could do this. Speed recognition. Whoa, this is rad. Let's see if this works. Hello, this is a test. I want to see if it types out what I am saying. Whoa, mind blown. You guys, I just discovered this. I didn't even know about this. That's so rad. Okay, so you could do speech to text. Oh my gosh, this makes it so that there's no excuse to be lazy. Okay, so there's that one. This is my favorite. This little icon here that looks like the YouTube icon. So click it here. Media comment. Okay, so you want to leave your comment for Edward after you've already marked up his draft. Then here's your direct comment to him. So if you want to leave a video one, just go directly start recording. This will record your audio too. So you just click start recording. If you don't want to leave video but you want to leave an audio, go to webcam here and then go to no video. And just go to start recording and it'll just leave your audio. In any case, though, you need to do both things. You need to, number one, mark up their draft here, just like in real life when you get physical drafts to look at that you mark up. Two, you need to directly communicate with them through here. Another thing, too, I actually had a question from a student last semester. My student was like, hey, I'm grateful for the comments that I got from my classmates. Is there a way that I can get back to them, thanking them? Well, yeah, I mean, you could do it through here. Like if you just find their name, you could be like, let's say like Brianna left you comments here, so you could be like, thanks for the feedback, blah blah blah, whatever else that you want to say. But that's just like if you want to answer them. But yeah, the main thing really, guys, is that you leave feedback to all three of the classmates. Leave feedback on all three of the drafts that you're going to get from your classmates if you want full points. So this is all worth 20 points. 5 points if you turn in your draft, and then the rest, it's 5 points for the feedback that you leave for each of your classmates. Okay, so 5, 5, 5, 5. Other than that, that's it for logistics. I know that you guys will have fun and go have at it, and happy drafting, happy workshop week, and I wish you guys a rad week, and enjoy the weather. The weather's still nice. Okay.